Change the narrative. Appreciate you joining me today. Got GT Jones talking about soul food. Holiday time. Should we update soul food? Before we get into that, though, I want to know. Um, Speaking of soul food, the movie claims to pull the family together while they indulge in fried chicken, collard greens with ham. But they discredit themselves when Big Mama said that the two daughters still fight on Sundays, quoting the famous line, "I'm not at ATM." At one point, Big Mama even burns her hand on an open flame and she didn't even feel it. And then at that point, we realized she had diabetes. Um, After that, we realized she had diabetes. They go to a famous spread at the table. It's collard greens with ham, mac and cheese, more ham, and fried chicken. Did Big Mama Soul Food kill her? Later on, we find out that she goes to the hospital and they tell her that they needed to cut off one of her legs. Hold on one second, one second, one second, one second. Y'all hear echo? Okay, cool,
No.
cool. All right. So she goes to the hospital and she's with her daughters, and the doctor tell her that she needs to cut off. They have to cut off one of her legs because of the diabetes. Big Mama gets upset, says she's not cutting off her leg. She's not with it. That's when we hear more of the classic lines.
Mama, you have to.
Big Mama was
There's no blood
57 years
circulating to
old
that leg.
with diabetes and heart
You're
disease.
diabetic.
When she finally decided that she was going to go through with the surgery, when she found out she was going to go through with the surgery, um, she ended up having a stroke and going into a coma. But at the end of the day, that still didn't take the clapping. When the grandson came to the hospital to talk to Big Mama about the cooking, the same cooking that probably led her in there in the first place, he told her, "Big Mama, we ain't been cooking, and Daddy went and got us some Mickey D's."
After church, Moms didn't feel like cooking at home. So Daddy brought home some Mickey D's. We were all on the toilet all night.
So today on the panel, we're going to discuss, does soul food need to be updated? Should we still stick with the collard greens with ham, the ham on ham? Should we stick with um, the mac and cheese? The sweet potatoes is good. But should we stick with all the other things that are fattening and causing diseases like diabetes and heart disease in the community? So we're gonna open up the panel and talk a little bit about, should we be updating soul food? Because me myself, I don't remember growing up and being introduced to chickpeas, couscous, fonio, um, um, not even something as simple as zucchini. I found that out later in life. So where was these foods? Why weren't they introduced to us? We're gonna start with Danny. I'm gonna try to figure out a little bit something with my audio real quick, but we're gonna start. What's your take on it?
All right. Now this is a subject that I struggle with myself, so I can't say that. Well, I will say that. Yeah, it's time for a change. I mean, we can do it in moderation, but that shouldn't be, a everyday thing like I grew up doing. Two of the last items you mentioned, I never had them in my life. Um, but yeah, I think if we want to move forward, live longer lives and be prepared for whatever comes, we should change. What do you think, Mr. Jones?
Good. Uh, what's your take on some of the things, Jones, that I said?
Yeah, the terminology definitely should be updated because the food definitely don't apply. It's nothing for the soul at all. So yeah, and us, we didn't grow up eating McDonald's and stuff. We kind of adjusted to it. I would say. Well, I know I did. Me and some of my peers. Can't speak for everybody, but I know compared from like high school to college and on, it was a lot more fast food. But the entire menu, the greens with the pork in it and fried every piece of the animal and all that need to be updated, man. Especially going into the holiday, we don't need that. That don't bring us together.
Let's test your speaker before you go and have a. I agree with you, Mike. Let's test your speaker before
What about the idea of um, not being introduced to some of these foods that are more common today, um, like incorporating them? Like, say we're going, for your Christmas spread or Thanksgiving just passed. How would people even feel to see that we had like chickpeas on the table or something that's not as staple that they consider soul food? How you think the reception would be, and should we incorporate those type of things?
now. I'm just speaking on my family. They'll be supportive of you, with your change or what transition or whatnot. But it'll be a struggle to get them to try it. Now, if you go to Big Mama house with some chickpeas, that side item gonna be full. You might be the only person partaking in some chickpeas. I mean, give or take two or three more people, but if you have a large serving of it, I still see that sitting on the table from knowing my family members.
I'm gonna get laughed at, and they gonna skip it and talk that noise about it too.
Oh yeah, you definitely. I'm definitely getting talked about, just not on that day. But
Mhm.
when it's time to go, but yeah, you can leave that stuff with don't bring it back. It's not needed.
Then I'm gonna get insulted by words and terminology like, "What you think you healthy? What you going vegan now?"
Hey,
Try to make
even
they'll make me feel bad, man, from their point
even
of view.
some, even something as simple as having dishes that may be non-dairy can be looked upon as shaming or not accepted in the culture, which is something that we all need to kind of get over. Because if you know better, you do better, right?
Right.
And we should all strive to be somewhat healthy. But we didn't know the same things that we knew 30 years ago, so we can't act the same. The research and evidence, or what happened after we consumed so much of this stuff, wasn't out, or
Hmm.
we didn't pay attention to it. So um, it's something that that's been on my mind about soul food, and I talked to Mike, brought it to my attention earlier, and I went back and looked at some of the stuff on soul food, and it was a mess. It was quite frankly a mess.
Yeah,
Uh, she was diabetic. She wasn't taking her insulin. Heart disease, and she was 57. She didn't
yeah,
want to go see the doctor,
that's
and when
ridiculous.
she went and saw the doctor, it pretty much was too late. They had to take a whole leg, right? And they still wanted to keep the tradition and giving the same food that Big Mama introduced. They still want to have Sunday and eat the same food,
Yeah,
and the repetition it was there. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And someone somewhere has to break the cycle. Um, you know, if you can blend it or fuse some of it together, you know, it will work out tremendously versus eating the same thing that we already know that's not going to work. So
That's true. I feel
So to
like the
add to
change.
that,
Go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna ask him, ask Tone. All right, so how you think that would have worked if Ahmad would have came to the table with some dairy-free macaroni and cheese, some fried mushrooms, some chickpeas? You think that still would have brought the family together?
um, I think it would have been looked upon as bad at first, but Ahmad had that spirit in him where he could bring people together, as the movie shown. I think if it was anybody that could do it, it would have been Ahmad. Uh, but at first, they would have told him to get out of here. You know, the pastor was coming over, eating up all the food. Everybody wanted those greens, neck bone. When they asked the mom what he wanted, he said, "Man, I want the neck bone." So he was already in the game. So, so uh, but if anybody could have did it, it would have been him. I just don't think he knew any better at the time. But yeah,
Gotcha.
This whole subject just reminds me of that Chris Rock joke where he talks about, the family. Your uncle dies from a heart attack. Y'all get together and eat the same food that killed him.
yeah, yeah. And
It's
it's crazy.
vicious cycle.
The repetition is crazy. It's kind of like we ignore it, And I speak on certain cultures because that's where I'm from. That's all I know is to speak
Right.
on.
Right.
But I don't know how it is in every culture, but in our culture, we definitely ignore certain things. Not all of us, but it's a lot of us that's in this southern area because that's where soul food technically originated, right? Soul used to describe pretty much black people at the time, and I think Southern was used to talk about or describe white people at the time. So that Southern food, soul food, uh, we put our name and stamp on it, and it's time that we look to update it as we do any other thing in life. So I challenge everybody to bring at least one healthy dish to this year's spread. It don't got to be chickpeas. Uh, you know, it can be a grain. I like couscous. Y'all like couscous? I like stuff like that. Me personally. Um, but it can be anything. To be honest, it just something to introduce. Um, so
Yeah, I will say, I'm looking at your Instagram, some of the things you post looks pretty good, man. Okay, I see. I'm
yeah.
willing to try. You know that spot you recommended in Cary?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I took the family out there. We tried it. Everybody enjoyed it. Even the little one. My daughter might eat better than me and my wife, and I think that's something I meant to say a while ago. That I think the change has to come with our children
yeah.
because my daughter barely eats meat. A lot of fruits and vegetables. Well, a lot of fruit. We get the vegetables in her drinks for the most.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. Like, no offense to anybody or parents that are older. Sometimes it take a little bit longer, but you can be a change agent with your own kids. And if they raise that way, they might not even know the old ways because you don't taught them the new ways. So that right there is doing probably 1,000% better than anything because some stuff can fall amongst deaf ears when you get older. And I understand. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but drop your IG off. Give these people something to look at it, that don't know, because you do prepare a couple of things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are willing to try.
Oh yeah. And when I first did that, you know, um, for my family, they looked at it a little crazy, not too much, but you know what started happening after a while? After a while, they started looking into ways to incorporate it. Oh yeah, I know you don't eat that. Let me make it like this. And you know what happened after that? Then my brother started changing the way he eat. You know what happened later? Then my mom started. Well, I ain't gonna put the dairy in it because I know you. So the cycle started. even if I meant to do it or didn't mean to do it, it just happened naturally because we all trying to better ourselves, and that's mostly what it is.
That's love, because I stopped eating pork in 2010,
Uh,
and I don't think a ham got skipped yet.
Yeah, those are facts. Now we got the stubborn ones. Now I know. I don't even want to say which family member, but I see my wife struggle with that all the time. She'll say, "Hey, can you try to incorporate this and whatnot?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah." And as soon as she leave the room, she don't know what she's talking about. Let me go back to doing what I do.
yeah, man. Um, we're gonna do the trending topics a little bit earlier um tonight. So we're gonna get Lady A in here and do some of those trending topics because we got a lot to talk about food. I don't want it to sound repetitive after a while, so we're gonna break some of that up with Lady A. If she gathers stuff, so we can go in and talk about some of the trending topics. Lady A, when you're ready, let me know. All right, so we got Lady A in the building. We're gonna bring her up. All right, Lady A, how you
What's
doing?
up, fellas?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
I'm good. I just wanted to pop in and get y'all's perspective on some of the latest trending topics. So first off, I want to get into this whole versus thing. I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with the versus battles that started during COVID, but lately everybody's been talking about getting Jay-Z on the stage, and they want to know who can stand to battle Hove. What y'all think? Is there anybody that can stand up on the stage with him and go hit for hit?
From my view, I would say it depends on the crowd because Hove got a long span between what early '90s to now. So if you worried about the younger crowd, you can count him out because they'll take Drake. I've heard somebody say Young Boy, and
Yeah.
that's disrespectful. But even though I'm not even a real Jay-Z fan, but it just depends on which crowd.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I definitely saw that Future retweeted that somebody said Atlanta definitely feels like Pluto can stand on stage with Jay-Z. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Mike, what you think?
location definitely matters. Uh, and Madison Square Garden, it'll be pretty hard for Nas can compete in Madison Square, but that might be it.
Mhm.
Unless I heard somebody mention LL Cool J, that might be. But like I said, depend on the crowd. It depends on who that is.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
that'll still have to be in New York.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I
But if
heard a
you leave,
couple names thrown out there like Eminem, Kanye. Uh, what y'all think about them?
I got one.
Kanye,
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say Kanye. No matter like, outside of Madison Square, Kanye got it to me.
Mm,
But
I want to know: is anybody that's in this live ever driven around the city and listened to Eminem? Because he becomes the greatest, and I don't know anybody with Eminem. Well, I know probably one person with an Eminem CD.
I haven't listened to Eminem since around the time he came out when my friends used to have his music.
Got you.
I
Yeah,
don't,
it's definitely gonna be a no on the Eminem for me.
Yeah, same here.
What about Lil Wayne and Jay Z?
I feel like music has changed. It went from lyrical to a feeling, a vibe. So,
Mhm.
like it's the age range. If you catch somebody But after 28, they may say Hov. Anybody 28 and down, I think they're gonna go with Wayne.
Okay.
At one point in time, I think a lot of people would have said Wayne. Wayne kind of he's he disappeared for a little while,
Hmm.
and when he came back, I'm not sure if it was the same. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
But if you're talking about 20 songs for 20 songs, I
it's
don't
kind of
know.
hard. It's kind of hard. It's actually hard. Even though, like I said, I'm not even a Jay Z fan. I respect it enough to know that you just can't count them out.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think Wayne and Jay-Z could be a decent lineup, 20, 20 for 20. Um I can't really think of anybody else aside from him. Maybe Kanye would be a good one too.
Y'all don't
Definitely not Eminem.
y'all don't think Drake can stand in there?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But I was thinking, I was trying to think people who are more in his timeline. Like I feel like Jay-Z and Wayne's timeline match up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, so yeah, yeah. But aside
Oh,
from that, I can't really think of anybody else.
so
DMX.
can I
DMX.
add? All right. So in order to win, what does it take to win a versus now? I used to think it was the 20 songs versus the 20 songs, but
Hmm.
now I hear about performance and all this other stuff.
That's a
Because
good
before,
question.
we were seeing old groups, they was barely getting off the couch. It was about the songs. Or if it was two dudes in their house on the front camera, it wasn't about performance. So I don't know. The rules changed.
That's true. It has changed a lot. And to be honest, even though every time we have a versus, we always talk about who will win, I never know who the winner is. And I never hear them announce who the winner is. So I think it's just all about the conversation, really. Um, yeah, I don't know that there really is a, defined winner. So,
Yeah,
Can you hear
the
me?
but
dips.
Yeah, I think just to add on, I think it is about at first it was competitive, but then I think they switched it to be like a celebration.
Yeah.
And keep in mind in that, I would say Little Wayne, I think would be perfect in a celebratory versus um, because he made a good impact on hip hop. Not as big as Jay Z, but you know I don't know if it's anybody besides Nas that can actually go with the catalog of Jay Z. But we're not gonna like all Nas's songs. So
Um.
It's it's 20 verse 20 though, no matter what.
Right.
yeah, yeah,
hmm,
Oh.
yeah.
Cause Jay Z can't go out there and do Hey Poppy while Nas out there.
Nah, you gonna throw that one away. That's
Yeah.
not gonna cut it, buddy. And you got to think Nas had two later CDs that were pretty good, especially the first one. If Nas dropped some stuff off of that, I don't know. It might get a little interesting.
Yeah.
what about 50?
20
Mm,
for
20. You got 20.
yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would rather see Jay and 50 than Nas. Now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't know. I kind of hold Nas to a higher standard for some reason. I don't know.
I don't think Jay Z would get on the stage with 50 because 50 is too crazy. And he, talk too much smack.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we will see if that ever happens. Jay Z did say that no one can stand on the stage with him. So I think if the decision is up to him, it won't happen. So I guess we'll just have to continue to speculate. But I personally enjoy verses, so I'm excited to see who is going to be next.
Can
All
I
right.
ask you what was the best verses in your opinion?
Probably my favorite would probably be Brandy versus Monica, just because I knew probably everything that they sang. But I also enjoy. I'm probably gonna sound kind of ghetto, but I actually enjoy the last one, with 3 6 Mafia and Bone Thugs. It was very entertaining. It was probably the most entertaining one that I have seen from start to finish. So yeah, both of those were really enjoyable for me.
On that same, can I ask you what was your least favorite?
My least favorite. My least favorite will probably be the Isley Brothers versus mm,
I know who
who
you're
was
talking about. I can't name them right now
I
either, but
can't think of the
those
name.
those
Yeah,
are the
that
people
was,
that was sitting on the couch that I was talking.
but I think I enjoyed it at least because Steve Harvey was like ruining the vibe for me.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind,
Yeah.
and Fire, yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's interesting.
Yeah, but I love music, so I enjoy all of it, even if I don't really know what they're singing. I just you know enjoy the show.
What about Shaka?
I like that, even though Shaka was yeah. I enjoyed Shaka and I enjoyed Stephanie. So yeah, it was a great show.
Who was
I'm
that?
not gonna do my girl Shaka.
Jagged Edge and 112. Somebody had some bad audio going on. That one was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I
they did.
didn't. I don't think
Yeah.
I saw that one.
They
Or
had a
no,
couple.
it was the one with
Teddy
mm,
Riley was the bad
yes,
one.
that one that I didn't
Oh
see.
yeah, that one had bad audio. Yeah, the first go round.
Trina and Eve was an underrated one.
I
Oh
Um,
didn't
yeah,
see
that
it.
was good.
I didn't see
That one was
that.
good.
I didn't
I'm,
know that one was going to happen.
yeah, I don't think a lot of people did.
I think my top two is Gucci and Jeezy and the Locks and Dipset.
I'm surprised because "Who's That Girl" was one of your favorite songs.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
man.
want to know.
Oh
Oh
man.
my goodness, Mike, you are a mess. Alrighty. Well, let me go ahead and switch gears really quickly.
Mm.
So another thing that's been trending lately, I don't know if you all heard about this, but there's a truck driver in Colorado who caused well, I won't say he caused it because it was actually because of brake failure, but he was speeding. That ended in fatalities for a couple of people, and he's now facing 110 years. I want to know, do you all think that is justified? Are you with the petitions that are going on and the whole narrative that people feel like it's not a justified sentence? Like, what are you guys thinking?
Man, I'm not with that, all right?
Yeah, if it's not premeditated, I don't think you should be looking at 110 years. I don't honestly know where to put that kind of sentencing period, but I'm with the truckers, man. They got to do something about that.
Yeah. My thing is, it wasn't because he was speeding, right? It was because of the brake failure. So I don't know. I'm with you on that, Danny. I don't know how you. I think that a lot of times when things like this happen, that we feel like somebody should be punished or somebody should be blamed. But my thing is, have they thought about whomever was responsible for the brakes, going after them? I don't know.
Don't you have to have checks before every so often? So he might have missed a check.
Oh, that's true.
My boy. But
People
yeah, I
died?
still. You said what?
How many people died?
I think it was 4, if I'm not mistaken. But it wasn't like a big fire and all that too. It wasn't just 4 people.
Yeah,
Right? I think
it was like a big mess.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 110 years for an accident is um it's crazy. Considering what we see what people do on purpose. Um, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
especially this
Go ahead.
brutality. And you see the lady just got convicted with manslaughter of killing the guy in Minnesota, the police, the female officer. So I think, you know, save those sentences for people like that, and people who truly have an accident. You know, we should be a little bit more lenient with.
We
Y'all
got
remember Starworth from the NFL when he called that
oh
DUI manslaughter?
yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that.
Talk about a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, he definitely got nothing.
true.
He went back to playing what, like couple 2 months, 3 months, something like that. It was
It was
something.
real soon.
It was real soon. Yeah, it was quick. But
I think Brandy got one too, didn't she? She got a
oh
slap
yeah,
on the
yeah,
wrist.
yeah,
Yeah. They be trying to, yeah.
yeah. But I tell you what, them truckers standing behind them, they gonna be missing some supply chain soon. So hey,
And Ray,
if you want to
I think
starve,
Ray J took credit for that body.
oh man, okay, Ray J, shots.
Mm.
But that supply chain really about to be affected because them truckers is not playing.
Yeah,
So what you gonna do?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to that, it's definitely caught national attention. Even Kim K has, stood behind him and started saying some things. Like I said, there's a petition out, so I definitely expect to hear something pretty soon. Um, but I'm also wondering, how sometimes when these things happen, there's somebody in the judge's ear, like saying we need to see something. Like somebody needs to receive some kind of punishment or something for this to kind of, pacify people.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it as well. But yeah, I definitely expect that we'll probably hear something soon in regards to that young man. So,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
alrighty. So my last thing for you guys is celebrity or that check. So I know you probably heard people go back and forth over the debate of having dinner with Jay-Z or money. But we definitely saw somebody recently who decided to have dinner with Little Boosie versus getting $20,000. What y'all say?
I work for a guy that's worth 200 million or more.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't coming off no information. So just give me that cash. I figure it out for myself. I don't got time to be playing.
I'm not in position financially to be turning down 20,000 to eat food with Bootsy. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Nah, that sounds like a bad idea.
Oh my
And not
goodness.
just
Yeah.
Bootsy. That applies
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it would be nobody for you that you'd be interested in. Like, you know, I know what you just said, Jones, but what about you, Blue? Would it be anybody you would be interested in swapping with?
The only way I would be interested if I know they were opening to listening to new ideas or possible business ventures. If not, just give me the cash and let me go about my business. I figured it out for myself.
Mm,
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm definitely not denying anything to have dinner with Boosie. I told Tom I'd take a free tank of gas over having dinner with Little Boosie. But maybe if it was Beyonce, depending on the price, like if they told me up to $1,000,
Yeah.
I'd take it. If it was anything less than that, I'd have dinner with her.
mm.
Anything less than you say anything less than 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing you ain't gonna miss. Period.
If we start talking about 1,000 now, the narrative changed for me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But
If we start talking about 50,000, hey, just give me the money.
yeah,
Don't even worry about reservations. Don't waste your time. Send that money over, preferably cash. I figured out.
I mean, what do y'all think that people who are saying a celebrity, like, what do they think they're going to gain from having dinner with a celebrity?
I think they have the gift of gab, and they're sadly mistaken. These people here game all day. So what makes you think you're so special that you're going to say something that they haven't heard before?
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it is some information that's worth $1,000 though.
Facts.
That's a fact.
It just depends on what it is and who it is.
Right.
But I don't know if Boosie possessed $20,000 worth of information. I don't think.
Boosie a hustler.
Yeah, Boosie be running. He run it up.
Yeah, he got colognes, all kinds of stuff.
You know, right before COVID, he had a whole, but like the Boosie Festival, like he had a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah, don't sleep on him.
I would have to be in position, kind of like what Jones said. It depends on what position I am in, but $20K is hard to turn down these days versus a dinner, and he start acting crazy within the first 10 minutes. So, how long do I have your attention for?
Right, because he can feed you and walk out.
Exactly.
I think I will walk away with more from a dinner with Boosie than Jay.
I think so too.
That's true.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe Jay might eat in silence.
Yep. Just looking at you like you crazy.
Or, to be honest, I was gonna say, to be honest, whenever I hear Jay-Z talking to people, even like when they're asking him for questions like for wisdom, I feel like he just say a bunch of nothing. So
Facts.
Yeah.
Turn out $1 million to hear a riddle. A riddle.
That riddle gonna haunt you for the rest of your life.
Like Elon.
Hey, that's somebody I don't know. You're a wild card.
I honestly feel like if you had dinner with Elon, that you might be able to get some ideas off him. Like you might be able to say something that he'll be like, you know what? Let's try it.
Elon look like he want to talk about Pokemon. That's I mean, that's a smart dude.
What about what's my man? Byron Allen. What about him?
That might be worth a try. Byron Allen.
I just wanted to add a brother, man.
Yeah.
I ain't want us to be rejecting all the brothers for Elon.
Hey, some brothers out here now.
Trying to think, who else would I be willing to entertain dinner with?
Tyler Perry?
No. Hell no.
What about Tyler Perry dressed as Madea?
I would rather have dinner with Madea than Tyler Perry.
We already know that.
Down. Dinner with Madea?
Yeah.
Tyler Perry?
Where? Popeyes?
Yeah. It don't matter. If I had to choose between them, I would rather have dinner with Madea. At least I would be entertained. It don't seem like having dinner with Tyler would be result in anything, and it wouldn't be entertaining.
I don't know, a 6 foot 6'4" guy dressed up as a grandma. Oh no, I got to go. Give me that cash. You have fun playing makeup by yourself.
Man. That's too funny.
Well, I will say. Go ahead.
What about Diddy?
Nah.
Probably try to sell you something. I don't know. Somebody like R.I.P. to Nip. Somebody like that. Somebody open that always paying attention. Yeah. Elon Musk, that's a wild card. I think so, because I don't know. But Master P, yeah, I'd take a chance. Depending on
feel like the people that I see Diddy have dinner with, life just go downhill after.
Yeah, I I might, yeah, I might second that.
Yeah, she's
I
on
pass
something.
on that too. He seem like he gonna be trying to get turned, like trying to get you drunk.
Yeah, he wants you to have fun. You trying to make money.
Yeah,
I mean, in
yeah.
that same sense, the Rockefeller artists, the majority of them, we don't know where they at now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Look
Exactly.
at your squad. Look at your squad. Who got the best squad right now? Over a 10-year run.
Little
True.
Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, he won automatically. He just lucked up and got some
Nobody,
superstars.
nobody's squad is still up.
Lil
MM.
Wayne squad, Young Money still up
Oh, you're right. Man,
because they still with him.
I thought
So
Cash.
he,
That's Birdman. I thought Cash Money off the rip. Yeah, Young Money. I forgot about Drake and Nicki.
yeah. So he wins automatically. I don't think nobody had that much success as him. Because
Mm-mm.
think about it, Drake got all them number ones. You don't got nobody to match that really.
It's true.
Yeah. And
Well,
Rihanna,
well,
she is still under Jay-Z, is she?
I don't know.
Kanye too. Kanye was rock.
Kanye was rock. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. What about Dame Dash? What y'all think? You think he could take the tongue lashing and actually get some game? Because I think he might be willing to give you some knowledge, drop some knowledge on
Oh nah, Dame he be talking.
you.
They would have to run up on people to get his money back. So no, absolutely not.
I re- I respect that more than going through the system to do it.
Yeah,
I
because
guess.
he actually put his money out there and he made it back. So once you owe him, you owe him. Pay him.
He ran
Especially
down on the preacher. He ran down on the preacher man, right?
he ran down on
The guy,
Empire guy.
yeah, the
it,
Empire. Yeah, I can't think
Oh
of his name.
yeah,
On
Lee
stage.
Daniels.
Lee
Yeah.
yeah,
Daniels. There we go.
Yeah, that's what it was. I want no preacher.
That boy
He
said, "I'm gonna
tripping.
make it right, Dane."
He was
I
waiting on
will
Jesse
say
to bring
though,
that check.
in the sense of the rapper who chose to have dinner with Boosie, he did say he's already made the 20,000 plus more by getting a feature from Boosie, as well as having some other things in the works. So
Yeah, that's why I said I second the Bootsy motion. Bootsy's a hustle.
okay. All right, fellas. Well, that's all I got for tonight. I enjoyed kicking it with y'all, and I will check you next time.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
I wonder if he got to pay for that feature though, or is they included?
Oh, he paid. He
Oh,
paid.
this was outside of like this conversation, right? He had already done that. I'm not sure. Man.
I think this is. I don't know. I think it's after he had the dinner. He got a feature.
So this like so this really happened. It's not a hypothetical thing. Like he really
Oh
had dinner with Boosie for 20K.
yeah.
Oh
Instead of
wow, okay.
20, yeah.
I mean, you got those special few that can get it done. Everybody can't get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. What y'all feel about I know this just happened today about the Minnesota officer. I said something briefly about it, but the Minnesota officer that was found guilty on manslaughter, Kim Potter. I think she killed a man.
In his
She might
house,
have no, not that one. But it's sad that I gotta say not that one. But this one was in the car and she meant to get her taser, and she accidentally reached for the gun and shot him. You familiar with that one?
yeah, I remember
When
that.
this happened a year or so ago.
It actually happened this year. It happened pretty quickly. I think it happened earlier this year.
It happened right after something else happened.
Yeah, I can remember I can remember thinking that sounded crazy that she thought she had one thing and had another.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know she got sent. She got sent. What was her sentencing?
I don't think they sentenced yet. She just was found guilty.
Found guilty.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
surprised because they let her ride with that story, which was crazy.
Yeah.
so what do you feel about that? Do you feel like they are starting to hold people accountable, or is this just one of these incidents where you get it right one time, or you get it clock is right twice a day type of issue?
Pretty much, yeah, twice a lifetime actually. If we put up the numbers, man, they so low with them getting it right. It's ridiculous. But I got a question for y'all. If she thought it was the taser, right? Don't they keep the taser on one side and the gun on the other? They're not right beside each other, I don't think.
I don't think so either. I'm not 100% sure, but I would
Yeah,
think they was either on opposite sides. I just feel like you should know. Like it
yeah,
ain't even like then we ain't talking about like us. We talking about this your job. This what you do.
Yeah, and when you pick up a taser, it's lighter than a gun.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be saying, they like say, I thought it was the flashlight.
Yep.
right, right. Yeah, for whatever reason, she was dead in the wrong. Like that's not a mistake that she should be making. And I think the use of her trying to use force anyway was already OD. So
I
she
got
was in the wrong because he didn't show any weapons or any threat at the time, but she perceived it as a threat.
so
And
You
so
remember the victim's name?
I think it was Dante Wright.
Okay.
wow. Yeah. He
Dante
had
Wright.
braids, right?
I can't recall if he had braids, but he was a young boy.
Lighter guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
They stopped him. So
But
Yeah, I can't complain about them getting it right. I'm
yeah.
you got to wait to the sentencing because sometimes they say guilty and then give them 5 years or something.
Yeah.
right. She was very emotional when she was on stand with her tears, but when they came back with a guilty verdict, she was looking straight face, like she knew what
It's
it
real.
was. Yeah,
Yeah, but you know what? She could have made a mistake, but like I said, I swore one was on one side and one was on the other. But that could be just one person I seen like that. I
yeah,
be looking now, like if I'm close to a police officer anywhere, first of all, I'm backing up. I ain't been pulled over in a while, thank God. But I'm always watching their waist, their area, the gun. Like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm
yeah,
always asking questions.
yeah. It's very few times that I think an officer has approached me without their hand on the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, I done had some close calls in Greensboro when I was driving that deuce in the quarter down Lee Street.
Mm,
I couldn't believe what was going on.
Yeah, they was definitely walking around like cowboys with their hand on their hip,
Yeah.
ready to draw.
So what kind of training can we do to help better prepare these officers to protect the people versus hurt? Like what
I'm
can
not sure what they already go. I don't know what the academy and all that. I don't know what it consists of, so I'm not sure.
well shit, the way these incidents been happening, it's like they going to police academy. Like the dang on movie. They just getting it
Right.
wrong over and over again. It's like, oh
I think it's very hard if you already perceived as a threat.
yeah.
Like if that's like in your subconscious when you get out of the car, I think it's no amount of training is gonna help.
I
Um,
fit go ahead.
unless they come to the community they're patrolling and hang out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you need to patrol communities that's or not that because you're gonna be a target if you do that. If you live in your community, you patrol it. The way some of these people wire these days, they coming for you. So
Yeah,
I mean,
It's a job that's not for everybody, and then even if even if it is for you, you might not be in the right community for it. Like you might be better fit somewhere else than around people you're not familiar with, because
yeah,
you shouldn't see everybody as a threat that look a certain way
right.
or that's doing a certain thing. Like let's say somebody that's not from where we from, like a convenience store, they see guys hanging outside a convenience store. They might think of it as something, but we seen that every day, so we immune to it. It's nothing. That don't mean they selling drugs or nothing. That just mean they standing outside the store.
Right. I think even me and you talked about this, encouraging more minorities, or especially us to go back and patrol our own
Right.
neighborhood, encourage people to become officers. And we spoke briefly on the importance of trying to, but also some of the cons that that may be go with that. So
Yeah.
In theory, it sounds pretty good though. Like encourage people to patrol their own, but just have a
Well,
different outlook on certain things.
yeah, long as they wearing uniforms, undercovers, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they get paid enough for the amount of things they got to deal with. I didn't seen them make homeless people leave certain areas. Then you do that, and then somebody rob the store. Now you got to run back, go to the store. That's too much stress for the salaries I seen posted. That's crazy.
But that's like one crazy day out of probably a lot of days where you don't do nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Hmm.
But it's always a risk. You got to get paid for the risk over the reward.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
I think I seen somebody say this. I don't remember who exactly, but I think if we hold like they pension and making sure that they kids they lose their tuition, like put more at stake when they have these in the field incidents where it's kind of obvious that it was some foul play, not the close calls, because don't get me wrong, it's been some close calls and you can't really say that it's their fault.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to act like every case is a open and closed shut case, but those ones where they actually was acting malicious and did something where it doesn't even make sense. Take away their pension, take away their insurance for the family. When people realize that their family jeopardy is or they can't get no help with their kids going to school or their insurance or something like that, I think people and up to pay, I think it would be a better outcome.
Better yet, give those benefits and pension to the victim family.
Yeah. For sure.
Forfeit it, give it to them.
True.
But they starting to get paid these days. What's up? But Crump, he cashing out checks.
Cool.
Imagine them looking at you thinking, though, is that man worth my pension?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Last thing I want to do is put that in your pocket,
True.
or your family pocket.
Right.
And it should also be the ones who like have those incidents where there's no criminal charges. It should be a step and plan, like a program to get back active as well as get your weapon back. You have any type of accident where your weapon is drawn out, even if you don't shoot nobody, but you use excessive force, your weapon should be removed from you immediately. You have to go through strenuous training to get that particular weapon back. Like, you shouldn't be walking around with a weapon. They know you got an anger problem. Punch 3 people in the face. Right?
True. Bro. Are you saying like when you remove the weapon, they don't go back out in the field, right? Because they a joke without their gun.
Yeah. But look, it had you seen the viral videos where it may be, especially up north, and they don't care what they got. Like the civilian people there, they'll fight the police if they're allowed to. I'm saying they're gonna win. I've seen plenty of videos where they may just end up fighting them because they have that type of.
Are you talking about African Americans?
Any type. It could be African American, Latino people. It's so diverse in New York. I don't know who's who, to be honest. So
right.
I've seen where they go toe to toe with the police. So if they take that gun down, because that's what they usually say in the video, right? Put the bags down, put the gun down, let's go. I think people will choose their words wisely and their actions too. Yeah, think about how many people were scared when they was on the front line of that George Floyd, the riots, when they all was in front with the shields. Like,
you couldn't have paid me to get beat and thrown, and you don't know what they throwing on you. You have no idea what's being thrown on you till you taking your clothes off.
Yeah.
It's true.
At the same
Just got
time, there's probably people out there who ready to pounce on people, but
yeah.
I don't believe the people in the front was ready. I think it was some of them look scared, but
They know this was gonna be their last day. They done burnt the police department down. Well, you think they think they care about you?
They better come be police here, man. They ain't gonna do nothing but march and give you a hug.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm done with that marching thing. If I see another march, I'm willing to stand in front of them and tell them they wasting their time.
You done with the march, so you on the violence?
Hey, if it's necessary, but I'm not marching. You can forget that. I'm not marching nowhere. I ain't walking in the single file line, none of that.
Yeah.
What does marches ever accomplish? They get up there and say these little chants, and they be like, "Yeah, calm down. You know, we'll figure it out." Never do. You go to marching again. Now you done marched 50 times and you ain't got nothing. Your feet don't hurt. Well, like, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same things, expecting different results, right?
Right. So insane people march.
Yeah. I'm not with marching, but I do salute the people who go out there expecting it's gonna change. I am against the hug aspect because I don't understand what is that doing.
The hug.
When they hug, and I guess the sound at the end. So, everything is good. We marched and tore down all this stuff for last 3 days, and we ended with a hug until the next time. It's like until next time.
Yeah, and you're gonna pay for the stuff you tore down.
Oh yeah.
So what did you accomplish?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, don't call me if you're going to marching. I'm just telling you wasting your time, no. I'm good. No, I just feel like it's like the weakest resolution approach.
But look,
all you're doing is you're angry, and everybody's not angry, but you're going down there, you're showing that you have support, but y'all get out there, stand there. You're not talking to the person that could resolve the issue. You're talking to the police chief. All he trying to do is divert you in another direction.
True.
Yeah. But look, on the flip side, has it been any other way taught? That's all everybody know.
No, you can go to city council.
Nah.
All these people can be contacted. They have a chain of command that they have to abide by anyway. We just don't take time to actually look into that. We just, we're gonna march. Meet everybody, put on black shirt Saturday and let's march on down there. You get down there, and it's like, okay.
I hear what you're saying. I agree with you, but I'm saying as far as what they consider to be effective, has anything else been taught? Because the 70s, it was all marching, right?
60s, 70s.
70s, it was all marching, right? So
it's how it was presented. Yes, how they presented it. I guess if you're going by what they taught us in school and stuff, it was all one big march.
Right. We can throw that out the window.
But in reality, even the boycotts and stuff, you look at the length of time on boycotts compared to people on social media saying cancel X brand, and it lasts for 2 days rather than over a year.
Yeah. Now I agree with the boycotting. You start hurting somebody's pockets, they'll start to they may change. I mean, what's in somebody's heart is in their heart. But when you start affecting their pockets, they might start accommodating you just so that they can get that cash flow back.
But what about when you burn down their building?
You gonna pay for it to get back up? So what are you doing? What you did was just improve their infrastructure because it's not gonna be what it was. It's gonna be better.
Yeah. And some of those I do believe a hoax. I think they be trying to get insurance. Yeah, I think they go throw a brick through their own joint.
Yeah, they'll throw the brick. Come on, y'all, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you
and I
know,
think that happened down there in St. Louis, and Minnesota. With some of
yeah,
the riots, they were saying that it wasn't the people who was marching; it was people coming to burn the joints down and then
from other
hiding in the
areas.
crowd. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
But what do y'all think about them Portland people? Like that seems to be the most aggressive, aggressive group going back and forth forever. And it
Is this
seems
still
like,
going on?
yeah, it's still going on.
It's crazy.
and
And and they don't say anything about it. It's like that's kept on the wrap.
to be honest, I knew what happened in the beginning, and I didn't know it was still going on. I thought they busted it up. So,
Nah,
what do they want now? This some of the same things, or is something different?
I don't know. I seen them guys going at it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, this is still real." I was shocked. Like, hey,
I was shocked that
somebody
it
had got a job.
I was shocked that it happened there. If any place, I would think it would happen somewhere like Texas or somewhere, or Florida or somewhere.
I don't know. Texas laid back. It's so much variety, and I don't know. I feel differently. Like if it depends on the area in Texas, I'll take that back. But the places I've been in Texas, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Now Florida, I possibly.
Yeah. All right, before we wrap it up, man, I had one more thing that I was talking about. It was piggybacking on the whole soul food um, introduction that I came in with. Apologize if it was a little choppy. I was hearing a little echo in my headphones as well. But one of the things that was a staple, we talked about chickpeas being presented to the Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, being laughed at. But I want to talk about one of the things that may have been a staple for us all growing up is the ramen noodles, you know, and the danger of ramen noodles. And, I ate so many ramen noodles growing up. I don't know about y'all. I can assume so.
Yeah.
Um, because every household had ramen. And
Still
so
do.
at some point, I probably ate it every day sometimes. So you just find different ways to create, right?
Right.
One day you got your beef flavor, you throw a little bit of hot sauce in it, what they call it, gourmet ramen, you spice it up. But it is a lot of
Orientals with the beef. Mix the Orientals with the beef.
Yeah,
Throw some
Oriental.
oregano in there.
They had the chicken. Yeah, and I think later on they had the seafood, right?
Yeah, they got something called sweet chili now, chili flavor or something. I saw it. I was like, yeah, they done stepped their game up. They got more than 4 flavors now.
Yeah, but
There's a lot going on in that section.
right. But it is cheap, so that's probably why it's a staple. But at the same time, and I'm getting beside myself, but just to make a quick point, we got to be cautious on stuff that's cheap. Yeah, it's affordable, but what am I eating that's less than $1, or what actually makes up? Because you got to pay for the wrapper. I was speaking with my one of my family members, and we was talking about the dollar cheeseburgers at McDonald's, right? But how do you create a dollar cheeseburger? You have the wrapper, you have the ketchup, the mustard, the pickles, and the cheese on the bun, all packaged to be $1. What are you eating?
I don't know. I tell you what, I'm good on McDonald's. That's the last. I ain't ate a burger from McDonald's in over 12 years.
Salute.
Yeah,
It's trash.
yeah, it is.
But go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Who was that?
Me. I was just saying, like, I thought about what Dick Gregory said, and it kind of veer you away from meat for a minute. Because he said, if my mama and your mama cooking the same thing, right?
Right.
If your mama chicken better than my mama chicken, what is it? It's something else in it. It's the ingredients. It's not the chicken, because if I take a chicken and I just boil both of them beside each other, they should taste the same.
Right.
And I was like, So you saying we putting more poison on top of the meat?
Right.
Like, it make you think about everything that you eat. What was that video that came out a couple years ago that had everybody scared to eat meat?
What the hell?
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more of those. Maybe I'll get away.
Right. You're right. Another famous thing that he says is your meat don't eat meat.
That's
So
true.
you eating the cow don't eat meat. You know, you eating the pig don't eat meat. Like your meat don't eat meat. You eating the grass and the stuff that they eating to get what they getting, where you can cut out the middleman and eat it off the rip. So one of the things I was talking about with one of my family members is when we get confused, we need to look at nature. The universal God has put nature here for a reason. So we need to follow the order of nature. Like you don't see the cow running up to the goat to get milk. The milk that the cow drink is from the mama cow. Same thing with the other animals. You gotta watch how they eat. We don't cut down a tree and call it a bush. Like everything has its order, and when you step outside that order, you cause harm to yourself because everything has its path. So when you run and you start trying to drink milk and get this milk from the cow, you got to be cautious that you breaking the natural order, and stuff comes with that. So,
that's all
I
facts.
thought that was interesting. Yeah, but salute to Dick Gregory, man. You had some good points.
Yeah.
Nobody likes raw chicken. Nobody eats raw chicken.
Right. I'm mad. I had like a couple opportunities to go see him live, and I didn't do it. I feel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I was in Baltimore, he came like 3 or 4 times, and every time I'm like, I'm gonna go and don't go, and then
That's
boom.
it. Huh? Legendary.
Huh?
Yeah.
He's good for that. I thought
Let's
you was
finish
smart.
up on that ramen pack. I did a little bit deeper research and found out, the stuff that's in it, some of the preservatives, same thing as antifreeze that they use. So we got to be conscious of what we eating. And then at the end of the comment section, I seen, had to be a young boy who was saying that you're gonna eat it regardless because they busting.
Oh, they busting all right.
He can't see it now. I was in the same. I'm putting extra Texas hot sauce on it, Texas Pete. 14 with acid reflux because I'm putting a whole bottle on that joint and eating that every day, drinking the juice from it. But it was good. But it is dangerous. The sodium content on it, the MSG that was used in the packs to keep you hooked. It's something that we got to be conscious of. Like you said earlier, your daughter don't eat as much meat as you. We got to make sure we get back and teach them because information is getting skewed a lot. So you got to let them know early.
Yeah, we got to quit allowing history to be rewritten without. Like it seems like the greatest trick ever pulled was the way history was written because they wrote it. We were doing oral, and that's where you make the mistake. Because I could tell you something, you could tell like somebody else tell them, it's going to be 4 different stories.
Right.
But
Right.
when they write it down, you're reading word for word, and that stands the test of time. So it's there. So we got,
not to cut you off. Who writing it down?
They are writing it down.
Right. That's the key.
Are writing it down. We're not. That's the problem.
Well, all our stuff was we do have. Well, you're right. That's the problem.
Well, what's taught is what they wrote. We do write it down, but it's not recognized like theirs is recognized. That's the problem.
Right. And to be not to be fair, not to sound like, but I'm just saying, anytime you have a group of people who conquer another group of people, you're gonna give them your religion and you're gonna rewrite some of their history. You're gonna be on top.
Yeah.
It don't work any other type of way. It's just that we still have been under the thumb, and we had we reaped the repercussions for so many years, and ain't been able to bounce back. So
And
What
then
you about to say?
with a lot of our tradition and stuff is it's also not written. Like
Mhm.
it's really like down to the recipes and like he said, it's a lot of stuff is passed verbally,
Yeah.
so that's definitely I was
Yeah.
sitting at like especially with the recipes and stuff like going leading back into the soul food that you started with.
Yeah.
So we don't even know if it really started with one ham hock and them greens, but now we
Yeah.
at three.
Right. And you know what else? They ate organic food. We're not eating as much organic as they like the original soul food people were. So
Okay.
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's
That's
it's more trash on our end than what they were eating. So
true.
and,
That's
and it
true.
was also a delicacy. It wasn't like an everyday meal. Like we eat, like my family eating that junk, like that's the way it goes. Nah, that's supposed to be like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, not okay, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do this. Nah, it ain't supposed to go like that.
And their
Yeah.
food was real organic, not legally
Right.
organic. We get legally organic.
Correct.
True. That's true. That's a big difference.
Yeah,
Big
so
difference.
we can get a little bit of Roundup, not too much.
Hey, they still paying for them lawsuits, man.
Yeah, they should, man. They
But
knew
have they
they
stopped?
knew
Have they
what
stopped?
No.
they were doing.
Uh,
Yeah. It's in a lot of this. It was in a lot of the cereal too, right? The General Mills,
uh,
Bro, there was a lot of everything because that thing really worked.
yeah,
It's not just killing the bugs, it's killing us too. And we sitting here pouring it on everything.
and it led to a lot of stuff that you see on a day to day now, like children being born and having certain conditions.
Right.
Mm.
Because I wonder in the probably the late 1800s, early 1900s, how many kids had asthma and all these other ailments? Like, when did asthma come into play? Like, I want to know.
Do they still have it? Like I don't hear it as much, but I'm not sure. I know what they do have, but I don't hear asthma that much.
What was that?
A lot of autism.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So this says 1700s, but I don't think that.
'Cause
I
that
don't.
number shot up.
Yeah, I don't think this is right.
yeah. The kids are exposed to a lot of different environmental hazards now, man. It's ridiculous.
I
Food bad, air.
And they
Uh,
coming from parents that was exposed to it too, so it's already there.
Yep,
right. I
and they
thought you were
making
gonna
it
say
worse.
the other A word, man. I thought you were gonna say anxiety. Like
Oh
that
Oh
nah,
yeah,
I feel like the adults getting smacked with that.
yeah.
that
I
wasn't
think
that
these
wasn't
these kids a little off too now. This new generation, like
yeah,
even for my daughter, like she has to put that tablet down. She can
yeah,
have that tablet and ignore the world for 24 hours. I promise you. She'll
Right.
tablet, bathroom. I'm hungry. Back to the tablet. If we don't stop.
yeah. That's crazy you say that. That was gonna be one of my topics, but I had cracked my phone today, right? So I had to go get it fixed. You know, they take it for hour, 2 hours or whatever. So 2 hours I was without a phone, and I was out and about. I ain't had nothing to look at, and I was just sitting in the car. I was like, dang, that's pretty whack. But I started looking at everybody around me, and everybody around me was getting out of the car. They was on their phone. They was getting in their car. They was on their phone. Like it just looked like a bunch of zombies walking around, not even paying attention to where they was going, but looking at their phone. And I was curious. I knew it was a problem before all the cocoa stuff, but I wondered if it intensified. You remember when they were saying if you got the shot, you're gonna turn into a zombie. But I wonder if it was a
Mhm.
more spiritual thing because we
Yeah,
all been in a house that we actually started becoming zombies to our electronic devices.
I think so.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah, what's
is.
the
I,
first thing you
I
do
got
when you
it
wake
bad. I got it real bad.
Yeah, me too. But
up?
imagine if Fortnite, these young kids can play Fortnite for 4 weeks. They go crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I can't even say I can remember like my mom not letting us watch TV all day every day.
Yeah.
But
Right.
now it's hard to pull her or my grandma from in front of the TV.
But you know what's crazy? These kids don't go outside and hoop, play football, baseball like we did, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we still pulling out some crazy athletes. Like this don't line up, man. It don't add
And I
up.
but like my nephew, his neighborhood, them boys they be outside.
Oh yeah.
Like they out there playing basketball every day. Like he don't cut on his at one point in time he was on the PlayStation real hard. But once he got with that group of friends, they moved earlier this year in another neighborhood, and it's the same thing. They outside.
Mm.
And this ain't like,
Really?
yeah, they I like it though. Like I
Yeah.
hit him up like during the day. I randomly hit him up probably tomorrow. If he answer the phone, he can be like, I just came from outside, or either he gonna be outside.
That's good. Because I be riding around, I don't see nobody playing with nothing.
No, I don't see it. Like if I do see the ones I do see outside, like they be scheming. But
Yeah.
Like, if I do see them outside, they with their parent. It's like the parent, them, and somebody else. Maybe the father or somebody, but it's like a collective. Like they all going outside.
and I think Georgia got a little bit more culture than North Carolina too. So that might have a little bit to do with it. It seems like North Carolina, we just ride the wave. They still doing them down there. Cause you going through the neighborhoods, you still see basketball goals outside, like in driveways.
Mm.
That's basically dead.
Yeah. In this neighborhood, we actually have courts, but they shut them down. They say the guys don't clean up the courts. So the
Yeah.
HOA just shut it down. Like I played with them boys probably twice.
That's probably why they shut it down.
Yeah, man. Back in the day, I used to always be at the courts. Like that's just something you did from
Yeah.
sun up, sun down. Like you gonna be playing outside, and you don't want to come inside.
Nah, that's like death.
Yeah, even with the game, like
Yeah.
you play the game for a little bit, and you got to get out. And your people gonna tell you don't come in and out, so you gonna stay out.
Right.
And we didn't have as many options either. Like we didn't
Right.
have the cell phones, and every household didn't have computers and internet access.
True.
So everybody, you had to hit somebody on the house phone, then go over there. You couldn't
Mhm.
play against nobody on the video game. You couldn't play online. If you want to play against somebody, you had to pull up.
True.
True. Yeah, that's true, man. But yeah, that's mostly today's podcast, man. Apologies again from the beginning if it was a little rocky on y'all end, but mainly what I wanted to talk about was soul food. Could we change it and you know learn from it, and build and change some of it? Maybe not in its entirety, but maybe a little bit at a time, one side dish at a time. My first change with my family was I don't want no ham in the greens. That was the first change. Like, you got to make it with the pork, the ham hard. Start it from there. That's one thing I want to leave with people who watch this. Um, change the narrative on what are you allowing in your household, because kids can eat what you don't bring to the table. So we're gonna be signing off. You guys got anything to say?
I want to ask both of y'all,
Right.
what's one substitution you could recommend for people?
All right. I'm a slow roll on this. So what my wife has done, sometimes we don't have meat. We will take lentils for tacos. It's just as good as having beef or chicken, I promise you. Or she also doesn't have that neck bone in the greens, but she'll take a smoked turkey leg and she'll throw it in there. It's just as good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's baby steps, though. Not we ain't up there with Tony.
I started. I just started doing stuff, man, like and seeing what was working. The internet is the worst place to be and the best place to be because you can easily find something. Like it's information highway for real. And to answer your question, instead of that fried chicken, y'all know how I feel about them Oscar mushrooms.
Right.
You put your seasoning on, you fry it up, and it's gonna taste just like chicken. I promise you. So the Oscar mushrooms for the chicken. Like you said, lentils. If you're doing tacos, I like to also add. You can use walnuts as a meat substitute. If you know how to put them in your food processor and put your chipotle or whatever with it and get your seasoning right, it's gonna taste just like meat. So you can find different things to incorporate. Even with the mac and cheese, I made some mac and cheese that was non-dairy. It tastes just like regular mac and cheese. So
Like the baked mac and cheese or just some Kraft?
it had a melt on it.
Okay.
It had a melt on it. So, it took a while. I ain't burn it, but it had a melt on it and it tasted good. So, your collard greens, they ain't gotta have ham on it. That's up to you. And sweet potatoes is good. You do it how you do it. Yeah, sweet potatoes fire. So I don't got nothing to say about that. Just don't put all that. Don't put most sugar on it, and leave sugar alone.
It's crazy. If you bake one long enough, like them natural sugars, when they pop, it'll be just
Yeah,
as sweet as the yam
that's
or the
all you
candy
need.
yams people make.
Yeah, that's all you need. But yeah, I encourage you to look up some. Anything that you can think of is already out. We just recycling information. And
What about that Kool-Aid and that sweet tea, man?
I
that
can't
Kool-Aid,
put that down.
take those packs, throw them in the trash. That's what
Now, they can keep that Kool-Aid. I'm not finna sit there and mix that gallon of water with 5 bags of sugar. I'm talking about the sweet tea.
yeah,
If you do half sweet, half unsweet, it's all right.
yeah,
When
yeah.
you say half sweet, unsweet, are you talking about like the Arnold? What is the name of the tea can? I can't think of the brand with the golf guy on the front. You know what I'm talking
Arizona.
about? No, it's what is his name?
Arnold Palmer is half tea, half lemonade.
No, but he also has the half sweet, unsweet too, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't know how you can make that and put it in one container. Like, I could see you doing it yourself, but them advertising it that doesn't mean they probably making one with less sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, that's what it is, but I don't know, man. That's funny.
You can ask some people order their drinks like that when they go out to eat too.
Yeah, I seen people do it. It made me try it one time. I'm like, dang, it ain't that. We used to go to McDonald's and get that sweet tea, man. My boy used to call it sweet tea Kool-Aid. So it was sweet.
Syrup, man. Number syrup. And then who knows if they cleaning them machines, man. That's why I get nervous now.
Once a year.
Yeah. We ran there. You don't know if they
seasoning
in there.
Oh yeah, you definitely drinking mold sometimes. It's in there. And the soda machines.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
of
just
soda,
can't go nowhere. I spoke with Javon the other day. He brought this to my attention. You know how you go in a restaurant and it smells like they haven't washed the ground, like they haven't washed the carpet, like the floor rather, whatever it is.
yeah,
I'm out. If you can't wash the floor, you ain't washing nothing else.
yeah. Or you get this weird odor coming from the kitchen area.
Oh yeah, I'm out. Hey Mike, was you with me that night we went to Hams and I noticed they had that C and everybody started walking out?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. They had a who?
Hams had a C, and they hid it. Like they had it, like when you used to walk in the one on High Point.
Yeah.
It was like they had that showcase of trophies and whatnot. It was high in the air to the right, and I remember I looked up there. I was like, "Yo, they got a C," and everybody heard it. And it was like, "Oh, we out of here." People just started walking out.
C. What's the C?
A C sanitation grade.
Oh, oh yeah. The
But you
hey,
gotta.
the
Oh, go
cra-
ahead.
What is that,
oh, I
Mike?
was gonna say the craziest places that be good be having low sanitation rates. I'm
And
too old for that now though.
if you see the stuff that you can get away with and still get an A, and you see somebody
Right.
with like a C, you know that
Yeah.
they did bad. They did real bad.
Or somebody had it out for them.
Yeah, the lighthouse keep an A.
That's what I was about
Yeah,
to say. I ain't never looked at the lighthouse to see what they got.
they be having
I
like a
think
98.
just showing you washing your hands. So that means somebody had to go from the bathroom and ain't wash their hands. How can you do that in front of when they coming out there inspecting?
Habit.
We had a health inspector come talk to us, and she was like, if it ain't an A, there's no way you should no reason you should be eating there. And then she was like, she don't eat out of fast food, right? Because she probably done seen it all. But she was like, the only place I would consider if I had to, like it was emergency fast food, never McDonald's, but I may do Wendy's because it's fresh, never frozen. They really do import it, but she was
What
like,
about the
shit,
4 for 4 though?
4 for 4, yeah, it's Wendy's trash. I think they were forcing them upon her to pick somewhere, and she just picked Wendy's.
I don't know. Like, I'm
I
not
think
eating no nuggets from nobody no more. I'm done with that. But the burgers, it's all right, especially for
Ain't
the
burgers.
burger. Huh?
They ain't burgers. They burgers, but they ain't beef. They ain't all the way beef. They're probably like 2% beef.
Man, you about to have me go hang it up. Oh my.
for real. If you gonna do that, you might as well eat one of the plant-based burgers. Just get you all the filler. Just cut out the meat completely. Just
Right,
instead of getting some of the filler and some meat, thinking you getting all meat. Pause.
right. And you get some pork in there too.
Who was that Subway? They recently had the it was pork or something was in the tuna.
Yeah. That's what they use to fill it up. They use pork. So it's very well that you can grab a burger and they got pork in it.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's bad, man. That goes back to what I said. Like, there's no way you can get real meat for $1, man. It's not possible. And you gotta wrap it up. And they can put it in another bag to get it you.
Oh,
Double
man. That's crazy.
That's the metaverse, ain't it?
That's too funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They real life, man. So as soon as we start thinking like that, we'll be better off. Like, we ain't got to go for the cheapest thing all the time. Money is tight, man. Food is going up. I do understand that. We got to come up with creative ways to, like I say, I get that couscous, man. It don't cost that much. I may eat the couscous one day, put the mushroom on it the next, some bell peppers on it. You know, you just gotta. People don't act. They act like they don't want to eat the same thing. Like, I think that's it too.
And that's a lot because they eat the same thing.
Right. They just
And
don't know it.
a lot of what we like is the seasonings anyway.
Right.
Right.
Because if somebody give you that same thing bland, you ain't gonna want it. You know what I mean? Where somebody
Right.
Tone might whip up something and leave out the animal protein, but the flavor there because of the seasonings,
Right.
and it don't got to be salt or MSG.
Right.
That's true.
That's how you gotta do it,
Crazy
man.
thing too. I was looking for a good lemon pepper seasoning, right? That didn't lead in with the first ingredient is salt.
Mhm.
I found one. I'm like, yo, this crazy. It was only like $2.
Hmm.
The first ingredient wasn't salt, but the last ingredient was MSG.
Mm.
You ain't getting away from that, huh?
And that's
No
probably
way around it.
it's probably some good seed. That's a good season.
It's probably fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's loaded on that MSG too. That's the main ingredient.
It's not. It's the last thing listed.
What percentage?
I don't know, but you know, the first thing is the heaviest.
Mm.
Now that don't mean the last thing is the lightest though.
Mm. Yeah. They I seen a guy on YouTube making his own lemon pepper joint. It don't seem too hard. I know people don't be trying to be on it, but it's a video. I was gonna copy and put it on Instagram at one point. I did turmeric instead, but I might go back and try it out to see what it tastes like.
Yeah, because you know the first ingredient is supposed to be pepper, black pepper, I believe, which make all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the real lemon pepper, like I forgot this brand. My brother got it. It don't even look yellow. All them yellow ones they definitely lead in with the salt.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. Hey, y'all got anything else to add? This was cool.
I think I'm good where we at, man. I think we tapped on a lot of things.
Right. Yeah, I want to thank y'all for coming by, man. As well as Lady A dropping what she dropped for the trending topics. Appreciate you guys that's watching this video or who has commented. Make sure you comment or hit the like button or subscribe. And catch us on the next one.